Good morning, students. Next topic in this fluid mechanics, we are taking the third unit, kinematics of flow. So, in class, we cover the in last class we have considered what is kinematics of the flow. In kinematics, we are concerned with the flow parameters as velocity and acceleration of the fluid. Then we have considered the types of flow. Steady flow means that is in that flow the properties are independent of a time at a given point, and different types of flow we have considered. Next, in a fluid flow we consider continuity equation. That is the continuity equation is related to the conservation of mass. So here we consider first that the rate of flow, or it is also called discharge. So rate of flow or discharge is the quantity of a fluid flowing per second in a pipe. So we are concerned with the how much water is flowing through the pipe, how much water is flowing through a dam, uh, or how much fluid is passing through a pipe. In that case, we are concerned with the quantity of the fuel, quantity of the fluid. Again, what is the speed of the air at that time through a, suppose, what is the quantity of a gas that is flowing through a pipe. So mostly we are concerned with the quantity. So quantity can be expressed in a meter cube per second, that is the volume of the fluid flowing per second. So always with respect to time, the volume of the fluid flowing per second is meter cube per second. So that is generally used for the incompressible fluids, that are the mostly liquids. So for liquid we can express 10 meter cube per second of the water is flowing per second. For gases, they are compressible. So mostly instead of volume, they are expressed in a how much gas is flowing per second. So mostly quantity can be expressed in meter cube per second or kg per second. That is called rate of flow is in meter cube per second or kg per second. Next, we consider the continuity equation. Continuity equation is related to conservation of mass. So here we are considering the a fluid, that may be gas or liquid, is passing through this pipe, that may its area is goes on increasing or diameter goes on increasing. So at the we take at the inlet section is 1 1, at this point section 2 2, and fluid is passing through that. So we can write here. So at section 1 1, the mass coming is suppose m1, and at the section 2, the mass flowing is m2. But according to the conservation of mass, the rate of mass is conserved. So mass flow rate should be constant. So mass flow rate we can represent as a density into volume flow rate, that is density into volume will be the mass, and its per unit time suppose as a second. So we can consider density. Volume we can write area into its length, area into length, that is distance per second. So we can write this as a mass flow rate as a rho a, and distance per second as a velocity. So we can write mass flow rate as a section 1 and 2 as a product of density rho, area, velocity v1 at 1 is equal to rho a v. So mass flow rate we can write as a product of density, area and velocity. A is cross sectional area at that section, v is the velocity in meter per second. So we can consider, for according to conservation of mass, the rho a, then mass flow rate is constant, that is rho 1 a1 v1 is equal to rho 2 A2 V2. So this is the called as a continuity equation in one dimensions. In that case, one dimension means we are consider here flow is along only the properties are varying along only this length or along the length only varying. So at that time, this is the continuity equation in one dimensions. Now if you consider the fluid is incompressible, at that time the density will not change, that is water or oil, the density will not change during the flow. At that time we can consider rho 1 is equal to rho 2. So for incompressible fluid, simple equation is area into velocity is a1 v1 is equal to a2 v2. So discharge is area into velocity. We can write a1 v1, that is q1 discharge is equal to q2, q1 is equal to q2. So this is a simple continuity equation as a a1 v1 is equal to a2 v2 for incompressible fluid, and for compressible fluid or in general rho 1 a1 v1 is equal to rho 2 a2 v2. Now next we derive the continuity equation in three dimensions. So basically the properties are changing along the flow is three dimensional. So properties are changing along all directions. So there may be the we are using Cartesian system as a x y z axis, or cylindrical system r radius, then z length and theta r theta z in a cylindrical. Here we are consider Cartesian system. So we have considered a fluid element. We have considered this as a fluid element in a Cartesian system. So its dx is length along x direction, dy along the y direction, dy along y direction, and dz along the z direction. Similarly, component of the velocity. Component of velocity in x direction is u, component in y direction is v, and component in z direction is w. So this is a fluid particle. We have considered a differential fluid particle, and we are considering the flow inside this and flow leaving the this out. So flow comes in this fluid volume from A B C D, and flow leaves from E F G H. So here we consider the a fluid element of length dx dy dz in direction. So mass will be enters in this fluid element through the phase A B C D, and mass leaves through the E F G H. So mass entering, we have considered the rho AV. So rho is here, velocity is in x direction u, and area of this face is, this is the dy, this is dz, and this is dy. So area is dy dz. So rho AV using that rho u dy dz. Similarly, the mass leaving from this EFGH will be the this mass coming in, and again differentiation of this mass. So mass fluid leaving the EFGH will be the entering mass is rho u dy dz plus differentiation of this mass through distance dx is partial differentiation deva by deva x rho u dy dz dx. So that means from this side fluid is entering into the element, and from this side fluid is leaving. So there is a net change in the mass of fluid element. There will be, because of inflow and outflow, there is a gain in mass of the fluid element. So that gain in the fluid mass element we can subtract, or otherwise we can write the mass coming into the element is equal to mass leaving from the element plus change in the mass of the fluid element. So we can write here equation as a mass coming into the fluid element m in plus is equal to mass leaving is m out through the EFGH. Mass out is here, mass is in here, and gain in the mass or change in the mass of fluid element will be the change in mass of fluid element will be this. So if you subtract m in minus m out will be the gain in mass of the fluid element. So here we consider gain in mass of in x direction is mass coming minus mass leaving will be the subtracting these two equations. This will to cancel. We get minus dy by x do dy by u rho u dx dy dz. So this negative sign as we are considering from the left face. Now next, similarly in y direction, changing only the sign dy by dy by y rho v dx dy dz. Similarly in z direction, minus dy by z rho velocity in z direction is w, so rho w dx dy dz. So adding all the gain in masses in all three directions will be the negative of dx dy dz is common. So dy by x rho u dy by rho v plus rho w. So we have know the conservation of mass. Mass cannot be created or be destroyed. So here, because of inflow in the fluid element and outflow from the fluid element, there is a net increase in this increase in mass per unit time in the fluid element will be equal to rate of increase of mass of fluid element. So means because of inflow and outflow there is a net increase in the mass of fluid element. This must be equal to the rate of increase of mass of fluid element. So we consider here firstly the what is the mass of fluid element. Mass of fluid element you can write density into the volume. We know density is in kg per meter cube, volume is in meter cube. So meter cube cancel, we get mass. So mass we can write density into volume. So volume of this element is dx dy dz. So it's increase with respect to time. We can write dy by dy by t for time, rho dx dy dz, or dy as these are the dimension dy rho by dy t dx dy dz. So we can equate these two equation. Equation 2 is dy rho by dy t. Mass increase in the mass of fluid element is this equation 2, and equation 1 is net increase in the masses. These two will be equal. So equating these two equations, dx dyz is common on the both side, so cancel out this. So we get the final equation as a dy rho by dy t dy by x rho u in x along y rho dy by y rho y. So this is the equation. Now we can modify this equation for steady flow. Steady flow we consider the properties are independent of the time. So we can consider variation of density with respect to time will be zero, as the density is constant with respect to the time. So here we get cancelling out this term. For steady flow we get equation as a this as a steady flow equation, a by x rho u as a equation. Now one more modification for incompressible fluid. Incompressible fluid density is constant. Density is constant. So cancelling the density on each term, we get final simplified equation for incompressible fluid that is applicable for most of the liquids. The continuity equation is dy by u by dy by x dy by v by dy by y plus dy by w by dy by z equal to 0. So this is the three-dimensional continuity equation for incompressible fluid. Continuity equation for incompressible fluid, and this is for compressible fluid. So this is the we have to use these continuity equations to solve the numericals. Next we consider the next topic is the visualization of the flow. Visualization means we are representing the flow patterns in a picture on a graph. So to normally we collect the data velocity at the different times, suppose 2 meter per second, 3 meter per second, what is the acceleration of the fluid, what is the pressure of the fluid. So this data we can collect in the table forms and we are analyzing. So this will be difficult for analysis, what is going on or what are the these effect of these velocities or pressure at a different times. So to analysis we can use the pictorial presentation of the flow. So visualization, we know by directly visualizing the flow patterns we can see where the where are the higher velocities, where are lower velocities, where is the more pressure is acting on the particle. So visualization directly enables, we can see here visualization, here we can see the flow patterns over a car body, that we can see here. The visualization of the flow pattern easily make analysis of the data. So here in fluid mechanics, during the fluid flow it is important or nowadays used as a visualization techniques to see the or to analyze the flow patterns. So that is the flow patterns are quick and easier analysis of data than the numbers. So we can make a flow patterns. So there are two methods of the visualization techniques are experimental techniques. So here wind tunnel is used to make the flow patterns or to visualize the flow patterns. The experimentally the wind tunnel tests are normally used, and second one is the computational fluid dynamics. The CFD software is used to visualize the flow patterns and to check the properties of the fluid as a velocity accelerations. So here two types of the visualizations, wind tunnel test as experimental technique, and one is the computational, based on the calculated values of velocity, acceleration, pressure, and the drawing of object, we can make a flow visualization in a CFD software. So these are the two techniques used. First we see the visualization by the experimental techniques. So mostly they are used as a light scattering by gaseous. So visualization techniques are light scattering by gaseous, solid, or liquid particles seeded in the stream. So smoke may be inserted into the flowing air, and we can observe these flow patterns. That is, the smoke is white smoke is inserted into the air. So this will be form flow patterns over the objects. So gaseous, solid or liquid particles can be seeded in the stream. That means sometimes to observe the flow patterns in the water or liquid, here the dye can be injected in the fluid. So that means sometimes gases are introduced into the air to observe the flow pattern. Sometimes in a water, suppose we have to understand the flow patterns in a water, submerged in a water, we can use the color dye. Color is mixed in the water and we can observe the flow patterns. Second one is the behavior of the material deposited on the uh, surface of the body immersed in the flow. So we can observe the mostly by the light scattering by gaseous or liquid particles. So here we see one example in this car, that is in the inside of wind tunnel, and the smoke is inserted into the high velocity air flowing. So we get the flow patterns. So we can see here what is the effect resistance. The car body offers a resistance to the airflow, or air can be applied a drag force over the car body. So this drag force should be minimum. To overcome this drag force, we have to see the what should be the shape or the body surface of the car. So we can say here smoke lines around a car in a full square. So this is the visualization technique used. We can see here the visualization techniques of flow patterns over the car body surface. So instrument may be used as a wind tunnel. So this diagram shows a wind tunnel. In this wind tunnel, a fan is provided at one end. In a small test, a wind tunnel may be in this type. The fan is provided at one end. Air is taken through this. These are the filters uh, or flow straighteners are used. So that means the flow should be along the streamlines. So flow straightener is used here at one end, and to remove the impurities wire screen is used. So flow straighteners, so air will be flow through this section, and this is the test section with the glasses, so where we can observe the flow pattern. Object is placed in this wind tunnel. We can see here to small model of the aircraft is placed in this wind tunnel, and high velocity air is passing over its blades, and we can observe the flow patterns, how the air is passing or flowing over these wings. So we can see these are the different points. These are the different lines of the air passing over this. This is the aerofoil shaped blade of the aircraft wings. So we can see how the velocities are changing, how the flow is takes place along these blades. So this is a wind tunnel test can be used to experimentally verify how the flow patterns observed. One more is the technique as a yarn tufts, means we can see here these are the yarn tufts, means small pieces of yarns are thread or threads are attached to the wings of the wings of the aircrafts, and high velocity air is passing over that, so we can again observe the flow patterns using these yarn tufts. Next, these are the previous are the experimental techniques. Now there are softwares are available to see the how the flow will be takes place. That one was the ANSYS or CFD, computational fluid dynamics software is used to analyze the flow patterns. So in this aircraft we can see here the different regions are according to the forces acting. The red is the higher intensity, blue color as a lower. So by giving the different colors we can see the different flow patterns. Again in the suppose turbine, how the flow will be takes place, what are the where the high pressure is exist and where the lower pressure exists. According to that the different colors are used to show the effect of the flow patterns. So we visualization we can easily check what are the higher pressure areas or higher velocities area we can easily define. So we can see here the visualization in that there are different concept. One is the streamline. So we can see suppose this is the velocity, this is a fluid particle, and this is the velocity vector, means the along that vector the flow direction is there. So streamline is a tangent to the velocity vector everywhere. Suppose velocity vector changes in this direction, then this curve is tangent to the velocity vectors. So as the fluid particles, this direction of the velocity vector is changing. So this the curve is obtained by drawing tangent to the velocity vector. So streamline streamline is a curve that is everywhere tangent to the instantaneous local velocity vector. So in this diagram we can see the red line is the streamline and the blue lines are instantaneous velocity vectors. So this streamline is obtained by curve that is tangent to the velocity vector. So here streamline will give the direction of the fluid motion throughout the fluid. Again we are considering streamline is tangent to the velocity vector. So velocity vector is the direction of the fluid and streamline is tangent to it. So there will be no any component that will be perpendicular to the streamline. That means no fluid will be cross this streamline. Whatever the flow will be takes place along the streamline. So as the we have seen, we can see, suppose this is a velocity vector and this is the streamline tangent to this velocity vector. At this point this is velocity vector, so this curve is obtained as the streamline. So this velocity vector means the direction of fluid is tangent to this curve, so there will be no component perpendicular to this, means no fluid will cross this streamline. So we assume that the flow will be takes place along these streamlines. So steady flow we get these particular streamlines. So we get a concept as a streamline is a tangent to the instantaneous local velocity vector. Next we see the in this diagram these are the streamlines tangent to the velocity vector. So now we consider the streamline spacing. How the streamlines, if they are very close, means the air, the fluid is enclosed between these streamlines. Now, if they are very closely spaced, means there is a as the density is not changing. Uh, Mostly, if the streamlines are very closer, means area is less. At that time, velocity is very higher, and if the streamlines are uh, very at a higher distance from each other, that means spacing is more. At that time velocity is less. So streamline spacing varies inversely with the velocities. If they are close, the velocity is higher, means inverse. So spacing for steady flow we consider the velocities are not changing, hence the spacing between the streamlines will be the same. So for steady flow we can assume the streamlines are parallel, as the spacing velocity is not changing, so spacing between the streamlines will be the same at a given time. So that means streamlines for steady we get the parallel lines, for unsteady we are not getting the parallel streamlines. Again one more concept is that streamlines are parallel for steady flow and no fluid can cross the streamlines. So we can consider next topic in the streamline. Suppose presentation, we get a equation of streamline. So here we consider the velocity vector is v, and streamline is a tangent to this velocity vector. So this is the streamline, that is a tangent. This is the velocity vector v along this, and streamline is a tangent curve to the velocity vector. So if you consider smaller portion of this curve, suppose dr, v is the velocity vector, u is the velocity in x direction, v is the vertical velocity component in y direction. So here we get 2D flow in xy plane, and dr is a function of dx dy. So we get two triangles, similar triangle. One is dr dy dx, and another triangle is u v and small v. So we can use the similar triangles here. So we get tan theta. Suppose this angle is theta, so tan theta will be the dx y dy by dx equal to v by u. So we can write dx by du is equal to dy by v. So equation for streamline will be the, we can get, this is the equation for streamline will be the dr by similar triangle dr by v, dr by v is equal to dx upon u, dx upon u dy upon v, and if the third dimension is include dz by w. So if we take the y on this side, so dy by dx will be equal to v by u. So rearranging this, so this is the equation of streamline in xy plane. Dy by dx is equal to v by u. Next one is the path lines. So first we consider streamline tangent to the velocity vectors. Path line is simply the, if you consider here, path lines are shown by yellow lines. So individual particle path, if you followed, we get the path line. Means uh, suppose we have consider here, this is a fluid particle, so that is traveling here. So at a certain time comes to here. After a certain time it comes to here. After a certain time it comes to here. So we get a simply path line. That is the, if you follow the particle, will we get the path line. So small ball if you kept on the water and it will flow along the water, the path traced by the ball will be the path line. So in Lagrangian concept or Lagrangian flow analysis, we use the path lines. So we are can easily see by tracing the individual particle we get the path lines. So path lines are the path followed by the individual particles. They are simple. Next one is the streak lines. So streak line is the locus of all the points, locus of all the points or locus of points, all the fluid particles that have passed continuously through a particular particular point in the past. So we can see here simply example, dye insert in water. Suppose this is a pipe, through that dye is inserted into the water. So dye means ink coming to that. So suppose a single particle is traveling. So after certain time the particle will be come here. After certain time particle will be come here. Means this particle is coming from a single point and flowing in the water. So this path followed is the streak line. So path line and streak line will be similar for steady flow. For steady flow, we get same path line and streak line as like this. But if the we consider the, suppose dye insert in a water, dye insert in this water, so particles may be flow along the different direction. One particle may be along this direction, another may be along this direction, third may be along these directions, fourth one may be along this direction. So all particles are coming from a single point and follows the different path, that is in unsteady. So locus of these all points at a given time, suppose at a in a time we draw a line at a particular time. So this line at a given time is the streak line. So streak line is the locus of all points. So in this flow we can see yellow are the path lines and green is the streak line. So at a particular instant of time, if you draw the locus of this point, we get the streak line. So here we can see easily difference. Path lines means following individual particles. So following individual particle we get path line. And uh, in a streak lines, so each particle is flowing along its line, path line, and if we join these points at a given time, suppose at the same time all particles at this location, and if you join the line through that we get a streak line. So streak line is a simply locus of all the points which are passed through a particular point in a past. So we get the three differences. Streak lines are tangent to the streak lines, this is a streak line tangent to the velocity vector, that is a streak lines. Path lines are simply formed by the following a fluid particle, and streak line is a locus, means joining all the points of a particles at a given instant of time. So these three lines, streamline, path line, are used to visualization of the flow. Next concept is the stream tube. Stream tube is the bundle of streamlines. So if you consider the number of streamlines, then that forms a stream tube. So stream tube is much similar like the bundle of fire optic cable. In that cable number of wire bundles are there. As like the stream tube is a set of streamlines starts from point form the closed loop. So that is the closed loop is formed in the stream tube. So collection streamline is a collection of streamlines. Stream tube is a collection of streamlines. So these are the streamline we can see here. So this forms the steam surface. So steam surface. So resultant shape the is the imaginary one. We are assuming that these are the streamlines that encloses a steam tube. So this velocity is vector tangent to the surface at any point. So we get the direction of the flow. So fluid can enter through this steam tube and fluid can leave the steam tube. So note down the steam tube is an imaginary tube. We are assuming by the joining the steam lines and forms the closed loop from where it starts. So we have already considered the streamlines are tangent to the surface and no fluid can cross the streamline. So the fluid can be enters into the stream tube only at the inter point and it can be leave at the other point. No fluid can cross the stream tube. That is the fluid is enclosed in the steam tube remains constant. So the we can consider here streamlines are parallel and no fluid can cross. We have considered and fluid. So therefore fluid within the steam tube must remain there and cannot cross the boundary of the steam tube. So fluid only can enter and leave into the steam tube from the ends. So these are the four concepts in the visualization. One is the streamline, another one is path line, streak line, and the steam tube. So visualization enables the quick and easier analysis of the velocities, pressure, acceleration of the fluid properties. So this is from the visualization of the fluid. Thank you.